This is just a wee quick video on how to be positive in your life without feeling down or anything. Basically, there's things in this life that you're gonna like, and there's things in this life that are just no worth going for. What I'm really annoyed about in this world is the way we're all brought up. Like, we're born as babies, and then we're brought into this world normal. We're all born equal, with no judgmental or no anger or anything like that. And then we get to about 3 and we go to nursery. And then, like, from when we go to nursery, that's us instantly getting learned how to become a worker, basically. As soon as you go to nursery and be the crazy self that you are, like colouring in, crazy, out the lines, running about the way that you would run about. And the nursery teachers are instantly telling you, don't do that. That's for bad people. Do this, do this. And that's them instantly changing us. And then from like primary 1, preschool, right up to high school, the same happens. It's just like they learn us how to get a job. They learn us a lot of things that we don't need in this life. A lot of history that didn't really occur. And they learn us life's about money. It's about only what you don't care about anybody else. That's what I don't like. And like, obviously over the last 100 years or something like that, I don't know the time for sure, but people, like, that's culture. That's just the way people have been brought up. Obviously, like, if you're getting brought up with workers that like to work 9 to 5 and that's the way they only know, since they were 16 years of age, they've been working right up to whatever age, right? If you're brought up with people like that, then obviously you're going to be the same. But just to know, like, there's more to life than working, and especially there's more to life for working for somebody else and making somebody else's business while you're making like average £250 a week just to pay taxes and pay for food and water supply, blah blah blah, all things that are natural. So I don't know where it all comes from, because these bankers sit back basically and don't do no kind of job, while people are out getting minimum wage, doing back-breaking jobs, shoveling shit, to say it the least. These bankers are sitting on their backside behind a computer desk making thousands of pounds. And at the same time, they made the system, they've made it to control. Think about loans and stuff as well. Like, when somebody's wanting to buy a house, they'll go to the bank and they'll get like a big loan, but they'll not get cash. It'll not be in paper. It'll be like a figure that's typed into the computer, and it'll say like you've got 50 grands or something like that, right? And then you're paying back maybe like 3 times the amount that you got loaned to you, but you're actually paying it back in real money. They basically printed it out of thin air and just put that digit right there in front of your screen, but you are paying real money back on top of that. All loans, that's like, all loans, when you see like a country going bust, the European Union, the UN and shit, or whatever, they'll bail them out, they'll give them a big loan. Like Greece, we've seen that happen recently. Greece went under turmoil, they went really bad. And they needed a bailout from the Europe, like from England, France and stuff, right? But where does that money go? It doesn't go into the economy, it goes right into the bankers' pockets. Like the Queen, Vatican, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. We all sit, man, thinking life's about getting a job, working 9 to 5 and working away for somebody else at their company and paying for things that aren't natural. Think about 2,000 years ago, what we done when we were in nature, in the wild. whether you believe we hunted animals and ate them, or whether you believe we were vegetarians, which I personally do. I believe we ate fruit and veg and not animals, but I'm not here to say anything about that. That's a different video. But that's what I believe back then is everything we're supposed to do nowadays, and all the modern culture that's just come in, like Facebook, the television, MTV, Hollywood, everything like that. We're all learn to be something else. Like, everybody wants to make their ego and wants to be something. They all want money, they all want to look good, they all want to impress people, they all want big logos. I know I'm wearing Adidas, which isn't the biggest, mate, but I would rather wear plain, but it's just I've had this for a while. But why support all this shite from the modern world when we can just go back to living normal? And it's us that hold the government in position. We don't actually, if we step back and stop supporting them, going to doctor's appointments, going to certain education, taking part in voting, eat healthy, don't eat what they tell us to eat, don't take vaccinations or anything like that, because just do everything like nature intended, what God, the creator, or whatever you believe intended for us to do. Try and stay away from all of the bad stuff, because that's what the government have really done. They've put stuff out there to dumb us down and make us less educated so that we will just become working robots. That's what they want. They just want a world full of workers and people that don't work. They'll do anything to brand them as crazy or brand them as hippies, and people, they'll alienate us basically. But as long as you know in your heart that what you're doing is right, then live it and just be peaceful. Soon the message will spread, and don't feel crazy. Like, 1 out of 10 people will not talk about this, but that doesn't mean to say it's not the real thing. Just speak your heart, and without me saying too much and acting as if I know it all, I'm gonna go. But this video was just a random thing, but the government think they really know it all, and we hold them up. If we step away from the system that they've built, they will fall. They give us politics thinking we're thinking we've got the vote and all that stuff. And every single MP behind Labour, behind SNP, behind Republicans, behind the Democrats, they've all got the same goal. They're all behind the scenes, along with all the top richest people in the world. They're all shaking hands behind the scenes while we all fight over what religion we follow, what colour of skin we have, blah blah blah, all this stuff that we just don't need. We need peace in the street, and live for peace, don't die for peace. Freedom. Peace, everybody.